Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty fascinating, how technical web design literally translates into real, tangible business growth. We're going to unpack the incredible return on investment of user experience, specifically looking at how specialized Breakdance Builder agencies like Viral Chili engineer these amazing outcomes. So if you've ever wondered why some sites hook you instantly, while others just make you want to click away immediately, well, you're absolutely in the right place.
Think about this for a second. Is your website actively turning away customers right now without you even knowing it? Imagine your website as your ultimate 24/7 digital salesperson. It never sleeps, it doesn't take vacations, and it's usually the very first impression a potential client gets of you. But if the user experience is bad, if the site is clunky, confusing, or just plain slow, well, that salesperson is basically slamming the door right in your customers' faces.
Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. We'll be breaking down what a breakdance agency does across 6 core pillars: the UX bottom line, lightning-fast performance, seamless screens, inclusive design, first impressions, and finally, the strategic agency partnership.
All right, pillar number 1, the UX bottom line, your 24/7 salesperson.
We really need to completely reframe how we think about our web presence. A website is so much more than just a digital brochure. It's a living, breathing business asset. This quote from our sources really hits the nail on the head. A well-designed website is more than just a pretty interface. It's the foundation of how your customers interact with your business. When you bring in a specialized Breakdance Builder agency, they focus entirely on creating these super intuitive interactions that just melt away friction, and that naturally boosts your engagement and your results.
Moving right along to our second pillar, lightning-fast performance, because speed equals revenue.
Speed matters absolutely as much as how a site looks. Honestly, if your site takes 5 seconds to load, your visitors, they're already gone. Just look at these numbers. A blank page built with Breakdance puts out incredibly lean code, weighing in at just 42 kilobytes. But traditional competitor page builders, they can easily blow past 570 kilobytes of pure bloat. It's kind of like comparing a sleek, lightning-fast sports car to a heavy, overloaded dump truck. By keeping the foundation super light, an agency makes sure your site stays fast and keeps people engaged.
Pillar 3, seamless across all screens. Responsive design is absolutely essential.
Look, we live in a multi-device world. Your site's layout has to adapt to literally anything, from a massive 27-inch monitor down to a tiny smartphone screen. And the impact of doing that right? It's staggering. 40%. That's right, mobile-friendly websites actually see a 40% higher conversion rate compared to sites that aren't optimized. Nobody wants to deal with endless pinching and zooming just to read a simple paragraph, right?
And to put that into an even bigger perspective, implementing responsive, mobile-first designs can bump up your overall conversions by 24 to 36%. These aren't just vanity metrics to make us feel good. This is a dramatic improvement that hits your bottom line directly. It just proves that when an agency builds specifically with the user's device in mind, they are literally engineering revenue growth.
Which brings us to our fourth pillar, inclusive and intuitive design, navigation and accessibility.
So, intuitive navigation, like a well-organized mega menu, is the backbone of a great experience. You never want visitors hunting around for info. But truly great design goes further. It has to serve absolutely everyone. True accessibility means building with proper ARIA attributes and semantic HTML. Basically, that's behind-the-scenes code that lets screen readers perfectly translate the page. Throw in full keyboard navigation, and you're ensuring that users with visual, hearing, or motor challenges get the exact same top-tier experience. Plus, as a fantastic bonus, accessible sites tend to rank way better on search engines.
And the financial upside here? It is massive. For every single dollar you invest in user experience, it yields a return of $100. Think about that. Accessibility and intuitive navigation aren't just boxes to check for compliance, they are absolutely fundamental, high-yield investments for your business.
All right, pillar number 5, first impressions building trust, because milliseconds really do matter.
When someone lands on your site, they are forming an opinion about your entire business in literal milliseconds. So what actually creates that instant trust? Well, it boils down to professional, polished layouts, psychology-backed color schemes, totally readable typography, and a logical visual hierarchy that naturally guides the eye. When a Breakdance Builder firm completely nails these elements, your site instantly screams deep competence. And that turns a casual, maybe skeptical browser into a trusting prospect.
And our final pillar, the strategic agency partner. Let's talk about why DIY actually costs more.
You might be sitting there wondering, why don't I just use a website builder myself and save some cash? Well, the reality is that a professional agency is a strategic investment, while going the DIY route often ends up costing you way more in lost conversions. A real partnership follows a solid workflow. First, there's a detailed assessment of your goals before a single page is even built. Then, you get regular communication where they actually explain the why behind their design and tech choices. And finally, a smooth, seamless launch. They handle all that crazy technical complexity so you can just focus on running your actual business.
Logistically, what are we talking about time-wise? Well, looking at the FAQ data from our sources, a typical 5 to 10-page business site usually takes about 2 to 4 weeks from kickoff to launch. Now, if you're looking at a more complex project or a full e-commerce site, you're probably looking at more like 6 to 12 weeks. But keep in mind, this timeline depends heavily on client feedback and how quickly you can get your content over to the team.
And speaking of complex e-commerce sites, Breakdance is honestly perfectly equipped for this. It packs in over 35 WooCommerce-specific elements right out of the box. This means your agency can build completely custom, highly optimized product displays and checkout flows that are specifically engineered to boost your sales. We're not talking about some generic cookie-cutter template here. You are getting a highly tailored digital retail environment.
As we wrap up this explainer today, I really want to leave you with this one provocative thought. When you look at your digital presence right now, are you just building a website, or are you strategically investing in your absolute best salesperson? Because a seamless user experience, it just doesn't happen by accident. It takes intentional decisions, incredibly clean code, and the kind of deep design expertise that specialized agencies provide. It's time to rethink your website. Stop seeing it as a simple expense and start seeing it as a high-yield business tool. Do that and watch your results completely transform. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.